Hey Dee, good morning. Morning. How are you, love? Oh my God, I do sound a bit croaky today, but I'm still showing up. I'm still showing up. Oh yeah, my voice is really. I haven't spoken this morning. Everyone else is in bed. Let me have a cough. So, have a cough. Sorry. La 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 la. Let me clear my voice. Hello. Okay. I think I'm just going to be a bit croaky for today, or I've got a very sexy voice. So you're going to love it in the meditation. Morning, Anne. How are you? Hey, Charlie. How are you? Are you still in Tasmania? Morning, Cara. Look, I'm okay. I'm not like sick. I'm basically doing a lot of shifting, detoxing. We're in Venus retrograde. We're in Mercury retrograde as well. Um, So I'm doing a lot of inner work on myself, as you well know, Dee, because we're both in the other Akashic Records training program. So yes, I think I'm just going through a purge and a shift. See, we all do it, and I walk the talk, right? I always say that to you. I walk the talk. So on Saturday, I went for. I'm doing a lot of lymphatic flushing, which I'm finding really good. Um, and also, I on Saturday I went and had Chinese acupuncture, and then on Sunday, glutton for punishment, I went and had cupping. Edita up on the Sunshine Coast, she does flame cupping, and I highly recommend. So yes, I had pins, needles, torture all weekend, and I think it's just really bringing stuff from down in the depths, and it's bringing it all up to the surface to let it all go. Hey Annie, how are you? So yes, and I had a full day yesterday, back to back with clients. So I had lots of talking yesterday. So I've got a lovely day with you all today. So I didn't really. That's why I didn't come in on Monday, because I really needed to have a day of pure rest. Because sometimes when you just surrender and you rest, you actually get over things a lot better. Um, and I thought, what does the group need? Because I always tune into you all. So whether you're watching this live, welcome. Hey Annie. Um, whether you're watching this live, whether you're watching it on the replay, or whether you're watching it on the YouTube channel. Hey Jessie, how are you? Um, whether you're watching it on the YouTube channel, it doesn't matter. The healings, the teachings, the trainings, the activations, the coding is all going to work, and you can revisit this at any time. And it's quite interesting. When I was in the shower this morning, I was like, I actually don't do a lot of free money stuff. Everything seems to be in my Unleashing Prosperity program. And I thought, okay, it's interesting that when I tuned into the group on Monday, when I said I wasn't coming in, I was like, okay, what does the group need at this moment in time? And the answer was I needed to pull some cards. So I pulled some cards. And the two cards that actually literally popped up was Money Fears and Shadow Love. And I thought, oh, this sounds intriguing. What is it that's going on that I need to come in, have a conversation about, bring stuff up for you. I'm good at bringing stuff up. And, one of the things that I love working on is money blocks. Now, I never thought I'd be a prosperity healer, but I actually love working on prosperity because it's one of the main things that keep a lot of us stuck in life. I'm going to be talking a lot around the three main points to address when it comes to shadow and money love, money fears, etc. around money. There are plenty of shadow side stuff around money, but I just, otherwise you'd be here for a year, because literally my flagship program is is big, right? There's a lot of juice in there. Cara's done my program. Dee's done my program. And Jesse's doing my program at this moment in time. So, look, I've pinned to the top of the comments. There is an offer if you would like it with some help because, I can help you a lot today. But if you are serious about getting out of financial stress, right? Fear, and always having it over your shoulder, right? It's that time when, I was even talking about this, I think, not talking about it. Well, I do sort of talk to myself in the shower, okay? But I was sort of like reflecting on it this morning. You know, when I look back on my life, I wasn't great with money. I was great at manifesting money. I was a manifesting generator. As a hairdresser back in London, you know, I got a wage, but the tips I got were phenomenal, right? I used to live off my tips and bank my salary. Not that the salary was very big, mind you. So I always had money in my purse, right? I coded it in that I always got money. Every single day, money came to me through like tips, like cash, literally cash in my hand, in my tip box in my hand. I coded it in as a belief. Now I know what I was doing back then. And I always actually had a negative belief that hairdressers don't earn a lot of money. That's actually bullshit now. Um, but I'll always have money in my purse because I knew that I had these hands and I could create money. And I still have that belief now. I can create money. So that's where I come up with offers, I come up with programs and things like that. It's the belief systems that I've coded in. But wasn't always the case. Wasn't always the case. So I have my offer there so that you can jump into Unleashing Prosperity, my flagship program. It's a 50% offer just for the community. You just need to use the code HCS, so Holistic Spiritual Community 50. And that will give you 50% over $500 off, or $500 off my flagship program. So that is a program that is self-study. You work your way through it. There is an amazing amount of healings in that. And the reason that I did it as a live program, but I've made it into an evergreen, is because money stuff always money stuff comes up, right? Look at me, I'm digging deep at the moment. I've got a cold, right? Cold, from a metaphysical point of view, is worthiness, right? I'm up leveling. I've invested heavily in like some coaching, some training, some mentoring, some healing this year, right? And I've pulled up my big girl pants. So the unworthiness stuff has to come to the surface for me to shift it off, right? So there's always going to be, unfortunately, layers, unless you get into doing quantum healing through the Akashics in regards to clearing and completing across lifetimes around financial issues. Now, some of you, and I know this is something that I'm here to do, is to get over my financial issues in this lifetime. Because as I was younger, I could claim money, easy, cash in the hand, no problem whatsoever, right? Did I want to look at my bank accounts? No. I wanted to just bring it all in, but I didn't want to put it in the right pots, okay? And it's my husband that is like the more stable one when it comes to finances. He's really on this stuff. I did marry a good one there. I'm great at creating it. He's great at putting it in all the right pots and making sure that our future is tickety boo. So we have a really great dynamic between the two of us. So yeah, it's great in that way. But I've had to face my fears. I've had to face my shadows in regards to finances. Okay, and I actually, I have processes put in place. I have a great bookkeeper. I have a great accountant and all of that. So that headache is taken out because that's not my zone of genius. Why? Why am I trying to like fix my books and look at my books when that's not my thing, right? But I actually have an ancestor, my grandmother. She was amazing at accountancy and bookwork. My grandparents on my mother's side actually had two businesses. They had a sweet shop and tobacconist, and they also had a hairdressing business. And my grandmother did all of it. So I've got the coding to do it all. I just don't. I'm not great at it. But when I tuned in, I knew in this lifetime that I had to heal lots of financial issues over multiple lifetimes. And in this lifetime, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm putting my big girl pants up and I'm doing it. So today we needed a theme around that. So I'm going to leave Unleashing Prosperity there. I'm not here to like do a massive sales pitch on you. You know that's my money and my flagship program. You know that when my VIP clients or any clients work with me, that's the program I put them on when they want to work on money stuff. I was like, have that because new level, new devil stuff comes up, and you can go back and revisit the healings at any time. And there is a section in there if you do have a business around the limiting beliefs all around business and money blocks around business. So what we're going to do today is we're going to look at the inherited money trauma and your family belief systems, okay? Because with money, it can be very, very personal and it can be stemming from anywhere. So I needed to have a theme in place so that when we're in the Akashic Records, we're going to do it through the Akashic Records. When we're in the Akashic Records, we're not just scrambling all over the place. We've got direction, we've got focus, and we're going straight to the point. Because with the Akashic Records, sorry, keep having a drink. With the Akashic Records, it is a massive, massive database library with so much information, right? And I don't want you to get lost in there. So we're going to go through and we're going to work through the ancestral line. So how do you know that you've got these limiting beliefs, these inherited traumas that are running through your DNA? So when I studied Theta Healing teaches us that our belief system, it really comes from four pillars, right? And those four pillars are your belief systems are stored on the soul. So your soul has learned things across many lifetimes, and your soul has beliefs about what it's learned in those lifetimes, okay? We also have our ancestral line. So ancestors go back from where you are on your family tree today. It goes back 7 generations. So you are carrying all the beliefs from those ancestors, and it's not a direct line. It can go wide as well, so it can come from cousins, second cousins, great aunties, all of that, okay? And if any of you have got a large family, okay, there you go. And those belief systems are actually stored in your DNA, right? And that actually is one of the things that sort of resonated with me. Was how I got my head round that was, you know how sometimes, say for instance, someone in the family has red hair or even curly hair. This actually happened with me and my family. So when I was born, I had polka dot straight hair, right? And my mum's a hairdresser, and she's like, you couldn't even put a little roller in it, and it wouldn't even bend. It would just come straight out. And when I got to the age of like puberty, my hair went like an afro. And I said to my mum, where does the curly hair come from? And she said, oh, it comes from your great grandmother Sarah. And actually, I wear her diamond engagement ring. And I was like, that's funny. She's like, yeah. She said, obviously, it's a bit of a throwback. And I sat there and I thought, God, that's interesting. And when my son was born, right, my husband's got dark eyes. I've got dark eyes, but they've gone green now because of all the healing. He came out and he had blue eyes. And I was like, where the hell's that come from, right? And his hair was black, which I thought would be dark anyway. And then it went like gingery, and then it went blonde, and he went blonde. And I was like, where the hell's this colouring come from, right? But it's a throwback. It comes from the ancestors, right? So my dad and my mum have like light blue grey eyes. Andrew's dad had blue eyes. Andrew's dad's got a bit of red in him, so the red came through in Rory. So I was like, God, this is really interesting. So when I learn about your belief systems, in in my brain, it was like, oh, so yes, we get these throwbacks of how we look and our colorings and our makeup, but what's going on with our belief systems, okay? So you can see where you might carry beliefs, from great auntie and not so much your father, okay? Because maybe the ones from your father around money, you've recoded that off. You've like, no, dad, I am not going to take on that I have to be a slave to money. But you don't realize that great auntie Susan has this belief around something else, right? And that's still filtering through you, and you are not aware of that. So we have stuff through the ancestral line. We also have things that come through from collective consciousness. So history and collective consciousness. So when it comes through the ancestral line, sorry, I've got it around the wrong way. The ancestral line is 7 or more generations back. So it really goes back far. Or then we have it on the genetic line. Sorry, I got that wrong. So we got it on the genetic line with Auntie Susan and Dad, which is 7 generations back, but it also goes through 7 generations. So if you clear those beliefs, money trauma around you, it is not going to pass through to your family members if you have children and so forth. So it clears back 7 generations, clears forward 7 generations. Then we have the ancestral line, which is 7 generations and more back. And we also have the history, the collective consciousness. So the collective consciousness is who you surround yourself, what you believe. And I really noticed that when I moved from the UK and I took up home and residency and now citizenship here in Australia. I noticed that a lot with different places that I moved. I knew that when I had an estate that I lived on in the UK. It was a wealthy estate. I'm not gonna lie. We were very blessed. We lived with a lot of footballers. Okay, we did laugh. It was a bit like footballers' wives. No, but it was like an energy bubble. It was a collective consciousness, right? As soon as you drove onto the estate, we had private gates, and we had security guards. I mean, there were some really wealthy people on there. We were doing all right, okay, but there was definitely different class systems on this estate. But there was a definite energy bubble, right? As soon as you drove onto it, you could feel that the wealth mentality of that estate was amazing, right? I did have neighbours that had Lamborghinis, right? I mean, Andrew and I have always had really, really nice cars. Andrew does love his cars, and that's his passion. That's fine. But the collective consciousness of the bubble that we lived in, there was lots of self-made millionaires in there, and there was lots of self-made entrepreneurs, and obviously there was the footballers that earn crazy great money. So we were surrounding ourselves in a collective consciousness of very wealthy people, right? And it was really, really interesting because one of the sayings is your wealth, okay, and it's true, your wealth, how much you believe that you can have, earn, hold, spend, enjoy, everything is the accumulation of the 5 people you hang out with. Just going to let that one stand. Oh, my mum's here. So who do you hang out with? Just so you know. So, it's what you feed yourself, what you plug into. That's why, I know I've got a lot of business women on the call tonight. That's why when you are when you're having coaching, when you're an entrepreneur, when you're having coaching, or whether you're having personal coaching because you want to get a better job, earn more money, etc., they will say to you, you know, join a group, join a mastermind that is already at that level. So if you know, if you're wanting to become a business owner that is earning six figures, join a mastermind where there's people in there that are already nailing that six-figure mark, right? Not because of the teaching and the strategy, that helps, but it's because you're plugging into that energy field. You're plugging into that energy field of, I believe I am this person, right? You know, I joke, but I said to a lot of my private clients, even last night, right, we sat down and watched TV, and all of a sudden we put Dragon's Den on. So Dragon's Den is Shark Tank out here in Australia, because I'm sitting there for the evening for the next hour, 50 minutes, surrounding myself with five dragons that are entrepreneurs, right? I am putting myself literally in the TV, in the room. I'm feeling the energy of being very entrepreneurial. Tell me, if you do not watch that program and get inspired by what coming off that program and going, what can I do? What can I make? What could I do to get myself in that den, right? Because what you're doing is you're putting yourself into that energy of being an entrepreneur, is being a big thinker, big picture thinker, right? I love it. I love that TV program, and I do love Stephen Bartlett as well. I think he's so cool, so cool. So who you surround yourself with as well is where your belief system is going to be. So if you're plugging yourself into people that are around you, right, that are where you want to be, right? So whether that's financially free, okay, whether that's people that have made multiple income streams, whether that's people who are just uplifting and empowering and inspiring, right? Plug yourself into that as your collective consciousness. That's why a lot of coaches and healers and teachers, and I talk about this in my Unleashing program, is what are you filling your Facebook and your social media and your Instagram feed with? Are you filling it with doom and gloom? Are you filling it with inspiring people that are going to motivate you, right? I follow Stephen Bartlett. I listen to his podcast, right? I love his energy. So when I am on Instagram and I'm putting my posts out, and I scroll through and see what's going on, because you've got to engage, right? I see him. I see Mel Robbins. Okay, I see Brené Brown. I have all of the stuff in there that is going to uplift me, all right? And I do go through and I do cull. I'm like, no, I don't want to listen to that. I don't want to look at that. I don't want that. I don't want this. I don't want that. And I want more of this. Okay. Books, podcasts. Okay. Not everybody can put themselves in a mastermind straight away, but there's lots of free things that you can do to be in a mastermind. Okay. Watch them on YouTube, right? Watch them, listen to them on a podcast, read their books, immerse yourself in their thoughts, their feelings. Because when you read their book, when you listen to their podcast, when you watch them on YouTube, right, what are you doing? You are coding yourself, and you are putting in the belief system of them into you, okay? And then you start to shift and change. So um that's my little thing. Yes, I want to see when I'm in the UK. I want to see if Stephen Bartlett is doing any talks. He did come out here, and I missed him. I didn't go that night. I wasn't really into him back then, but I really sort of kicked myself for not going. It's like Lee Harris. He's out here at the moment. He's doing a live talk in Brisbane in April. Can't remember the date. So I know a few of us in the group are going. So if anyone that wants to go, go, because you'll see me there. But you know, Lee is an amazing channel, right? And he channels and he travels the world. I'm like, I want to be in his energy. He's great, right? I'd love to do that, right? So I'm putting myself in the room with him. So there's lots of different things that you can do for free, okay? But you're putting yourself in wealth mindset. All right. And then make sure that you are turning down the volume on people that are, oh, this and oh, that, and oh, whingers, okay, about money. You need to turn yourself away from that, okay? Because what they're doing is that they are feeding you, pumping you with lack and fear. And if you're a person that is detaching from the lack and the fear, and you're moving into coding yourself in with, I can do this, I can do that, I can create, and in that camp, but you are still connected to people in the lack and the fear collective conscious camp, right? They're just going to keep pulling you back. They're going to keep pulling you back. So sometimes, even if it is a family member, right, that's going through a difficult time, we can't always just leave people in the lurch, all right? But you need to be clearing yourself of their belief systems, okay? So that's an important thing. You've got to keep energy clearing yourself, all right? And that is the best way to do that is through chakra clearing, chakra points. So let me just have a look in the chat. And then what we'll do is I'm going to talk about the 3 points. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go into the Akashic Records, your library, because this is where all the information is stored. So when we go into the Akashic Records, we're going to find the biggest block around money, trauma, and your family beliefs. And we're going to remove that. We're going to change it and we're going to put it in as a positive. So it's not your truth anymore. Okay. Now, how do you know that you've got that belief? Because I might say to you, you've got a fear around a guilt around if you had so much money come to you that you've got to support other people in your family, right? And you'd be like, no, my family wouldn't even ask me for a handout, right? And you'd be like, and what you would do is you'd dismiss that and you just carry on, right? But there'd be something there that you're not getting over that next level, or you earn money and then you lose money, or you spend it frivolously on something, or, something happens and that money goes, right? And then you're back to square one again. And I go back to you and I say, you've got this belief. No, 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 no. So how do we check that you have this belief? Because the belief might actually not be yours that you've created in this lifetime. It might be something from a soul. It might be something from the ancestral. It might be something from the history. It might be something from your genetic line, right? It could be anywhere. And that's where the Akashic Records are really, really good, because we find the nitty gritty. The way that we test whether you have this belief is because it's stored in your unconscious mind. And the way that we can do it 2 ways. If we do it the Theta healing way, we do muscle testing through your body. Okay, so that's the yes, 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 no, no, no. And we see if that's your truth. I personally find pendulum work the best. Absolutely the pendulum work. Because I always feel that my brain, to understand the question, switches the unconscious and the subconscious mind, and I can go in and out of my unconscious and subconscious mind really, really rapidly and really fast. Okay, so I use a pendulum. So I set the pendulum to be my belief system. Okay, and I ask the pendulum whether this is true or whether this is false, and I ask the belief, and I see whether the pendulum tells me I have that belief system or I don't have that belief system, all right? So I literally detach from myself, and I trust the pendulum and the Akashic Records to give me that information. I ask the Akashic Records and the pendulum to go find that belief, where it's stored, and I can go, is it soul? Is it here? Is it here? Is it here? Okay, and I can clear it. And when we clear a belief system, we put in the polar opposite of a new truth, okay? Because we want that new truth to be your new set point. And that's how the magic works, okay? If you want to learn pendulum work, I'm running a pendulum workshop in person on the 6th of April. up on the Sunshine Coast. So if you want the information on the pendulum workshop, then please just pop it in the chat and tag me in the chat, and we'll make sure that you get the information. Or you can go to my website, www.clairegorman.com.au, and you can look under, I think it's under workshops or events at the top. Go in and all the information is there. So that is that. Okay, 3 shadow sides of money pain points to address. The first one. This is where you will struggle to receive more. Okay, so the fear of being seen and receiving more. Fear of being seen and receiving more. So the question is, do you unconsciously block money because deep down receiving more means stepping into greater visibility and or responsibility? I had a client on a discovery call last week, and I said to her, I really want to address this, and this, but I also need to address, because she was at that tipping point of like on her max of her income coming in every month, but she wants to double it. And I said, we need to clear this fear of responsibility, because your nervous system is showing me, okay, I'm really good at scanning people. Your nervous system is showing me that for you to double your income, right, you actually have to do more, and there's more responsibility, and you're maxed out as it is. So we need to do some healing around that. We need to teach your nervous system that actually that double income is not double the work, it's actually less work. But what was blocking her was a support wound, a neglect wound, and an overgiving wound. So those are the wounds that needed to be addressed so that she could then feel that next level wasn't more responsibility. Okay? And yes, I can scan people and find that straight away, because I can see it in the records as well. Okay, so fear of visibility or responsibility. And what we can fear is that people are going to judge us, criticize us, or we get it wrong. Okay, so that's the first one that's there. And what you might find is, as I'm talking about this, you could be like, okay, I'm gonna, when we go into the records, we'll ask for a number. So this is number 1, all right? So you might get shown number 1, number 2, number 3, and that's what we're going to clear. So that could all be coming from an ancestor genetic line. Okay. Guilt, number 2. Guilt and shame around wealth. So have you ever been conditioned to believe money is bad, greedy, evil, deceitful? Because I can say to you, do you love money? And you'd be like, yeah, I love money. And that's not a bad thing to believe in, right? I love money because I love what money can do, not only for yourself, but what it can do for the world, okay? But if you have a program running that you're not aware of, that you believe money is bad or greedy, what are you going to do? You're going to repel it. So this is a very repelling energy. So when you're repelling it, it's guilt and shame that you need to work on. So what are you doing? What's your daily habits when you're repelling money, right? It's when, and you can see it from possibly when you're a kid, when grandma gets, like, I'm going to say 50 pence, because I was in England back then, when grandma gets 50 pence out of her purse, and because you've heard mum and dad talk that granny hasn't got much money, but she gives you 50 pence to go up the sweet shop, and you go, no, don't. You like in that energy of like, you need it more than me, even though I have nothing. But actually she wants to give it to you, right? That money is not really coming from grandma, it's coming from the universe, right? And you're saying no, and you're repelling it. Okay? So where do you repel money? When you're repelling money, you need to work on guilt and shame. So it could be that a client, or it could be anyone that says to you, yeah, where do you repel money? I'm not going to go into that too much. You'll know if you're repelling money. Because if you're repelling money, the universe goes, oh, she doesn't want it. So why manifest even more or receive even more? So this can be so guilt and shame around wealth, repelling it. Subconscious guilt often repels abundance, making you undercharge, overgive, self-sabotage your financial success. Okay, the number 3, the fear of losing it all and never feeling safe. The fear of losing it all and never feeling safe. This is I see a lot this of a program where people will have like a pay rise, or they'll have a really good like money month or receiving month, or they get given a gift, right? And even if someone won the lottery, it would be interesting to do some research on how many people that win the lottery actually maintain that amount of money. I actually did meet a lottery winner once. She was one of my hairdressing clients. Yeah, she was an interesting character. I had some interesting conversations with her. So when you don't feel safe around money, what can happen is because what can happen when you don't feel safe around money, you will feel anxious around money all the time. You will feel anxious around holding on to money. You will fear it and it will disappear. So this is where someone gets, a good windfall into their bank account, right? Say, for instance, you got given some money at Christmas, and then come Boxing Day, you're out in the sales buying everything, just spending for spending's sake, right? I know that when I've worked on my money blocks and my money habits, I actually hardly buy anything in the sale. Hardly ever buy anything in the sale. I.e., I'm talking about like clothes and things like that. Yes, I do buy like furniture, and I bought my new oven in the sale. Yeah, that's a no-brainer. That's a sensible thing to do. But I don't go out and do frivolous spending anymore. I actually am very mindful about what I spend in regards to clothes and things like that. What you'll find is that if you are feeling unsafe around money, you will self-sabotage and you will create issues where you need to spend money. All right. So it's that the washing machine breaks down, the car speeding fine, the tire needs replacing, right? Because that forces you to spend money. When you have this fear of losing it all, it's better to stay where you are rather than to have too much. All right. So this is where I work a lot around energetic maximum and minimums with people, and I talk a lot about and do a lot of training around that in my program. But we have a thermostat. We have an energetic thermostat of what we need to survive and what we need to just about thrive. So we have a benchmark, and you'll be able to see that in your bank accounts every month. Okay. So when your pay comes in, you're at your energetic maximum, all right? And when the end of the month, before you get paid, that's your energetic minimum. And some people are in overdraft. Some people are in debt because your bottom energetic set point is minus, is low. Before this comes up, there's no point moving that up because the gap is too big, right? There's no point moving your energetic maximum up. It's the energetic minimum that needs to come up, all right? Because if you're in minus all the time, or you're in debt, or you're chasing the money, it's this that needs to change. This is okay, all right? This needs to change, and it needs to come up, and then we can do that through there. So there's always an energetic minimum and maximum. And I do a lot of this around with my private clients in the prices that they charge. I do it on my business. I work out what's the energetic maximum and minimum that I can charge for a service. Okay. What I feel safe asking for, because your nervous system needs to feel safe, right? Otherwise, what you're going to do, you're going to repel it. And it's working on that energetic maximum and minimum and moving it up the scale through there. And I've seen this over the years with my own bank account, right? So when I was a stay-at-home mum for a number of years, right? Every month, Andrew used to put money into the housekeeping account, which was my account, right? And that was what I needed to work on, right? To look after the family, right? Etc. Look after myself and this, that, and the other. So, I had a nice juicy amount every month coming into the housekeeping account, right? But every month it went down to zero. It never went under. Okay. Years ago it used to go under, right? But it didn't then, right? So I understood, when I was working a lot on money programs and channeling everything, it was like work out this energetic set point. I was like, what do you mean by that? What's an energetic set point? And my teacher, Anna Kitney, actually taught me about the thermostat. That comes from other trainings. And when my guide showed me, do you remember this scenario that you always did? And I was like, yeah, I did. I remember that. And then I learned about the energetic maximum minimum and your set point, and it's the lower set point that we need to rise before we rise the others as well. So you've got to feel safe in holding on to that money, all right? And that is all around your nervous system. Are you enjoying what I'm talking about? I hope you are. Mum, I was going to invite him over. Who are you going to invite over? Oh, Maria. Okay, this makes total sense. Yeah, perfect. Yes, I am planning on doing a pendulum workshop online. Absolutely. I'm going to run it as a mini course, not just like a full day workshop, because I've got people all over the world, right? You're not going to, like, I've done training through the night. It's not fun. It isn't fun. So I'm going to run it as a mini course over 6 weeks. You need to clear the responsibility. Oh, there's lots of comments. This is such a huge thing in our culture of refusing to accept money when I was being gifted to us as kids. Yeah, I thought I was tuning into someone. Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. And we were always brought up that if we were ever given a gift, we needed to say thank you for that, right? And I look back on that, and like my mum's on the call tonight, and I used to hate my mum making me bloody write a thank you note. Being dyslexic, right, wasn't the best thing for me, because I thought if I write it wrong, they're going to judge me. They're going to judge me, right? So that's why I really struggled in writing thank you notes. I would rather pick up the phone and say thank you to Auntie for the Christmas present. But what does that teach you? It's teaching you to say thank you to the universe, being grateful. What happens when you're grateful? I know this stuff now. When you're grateful, right? More comes. More comes. Okay, you're loving this. I do love teaching my little quirks around money and stuff like that. Okay. One more thing I want to talk about is who's in charge? Who's in charge? Are you in charge of money, or is money in charge of you? I'm just going to ask you straight up. Yeah, and hopefully I've got you juiced up so that you're going to go back into Unleashing Prosperity. So everyone that's got Unleashing Prosperity, go back into it. I've got you all juiced up, right? All revved up. Go back into the program if you have it. If you haven't got the program and you're loving what I'm talking about, please go in. Please purchase the Unleashing Prosperity. Don't stay stuck in your money problems, okay? Because it just comes back. New level, new devil, all right? And I see so many women stuck, right? It's a really, really powerful program. The the manifestation, I knew it'd be amazing, right? But it's until you start doing it and you see the results in some of your clients, you like far out blown away. Like the first round, so in Unleashing Prosperity 3.0, you've got round one, round two, round three. There's 3 rounds in there. And in the first round, they're all different teachings, all different calls, all different healings. In the first round, I did 5 calls and I worked a lot around fear, karma, like like shifting heavy shit, in all fairness. And in that first round, I had one client who joined it because she wanted to really step into her spiritual business. So she was a busy mum, stay-at-home mum, but wanted to grow her spiritual business. And no shitting me, within a few weeks, her husband spontaneously, out of the blue, got offered a job promotion that doubled his income overnight. I am not shitting you. He doubled his income overnight. We were like, what? These women were manifesting or pulling or receiving money through their partners. It happened to three of us in the on the call. So her husband doubled his money overnight. Another one, her husband got 2 job promotions within 3 months, and the company was making people redundant, right? Another one, her husband got a massive pay rise as well. And I was like, ladies, you are activating money coming in through channels and you're not even having to pick your fingers up. This is how powerful it was. And this girl that was like, but I really want it to come through my business. And I said, it will. But look at the energy that you're going to create your business now. You're going to create it through like receiving abundance. You're going to be much more in this creative energy because you're not working like, I have to make this business work. That's gone because you've got the security and the safety already there. You're going to create a business that is completely different, a completely different energy, because your needs are met. The universe is provided for you. Now you're going to go and create a business that is completely different. Honestly, it was random, and like the opportunities. Another client got great speaking gig opportunities. Somebody else a book offer. So it was effing phenomenal. Another client was manifesting money coming in through multiple income streams. So what we do in that is that we open you up in your receiving channels so that you can receive from other opportunities. Another client started, like, she had her business, but she created another business, like a side hustle on her business. There was just like bringing it in. Another client started to get into crypto and things like that. Because what we do is we release your fear around money, your money fears, okay, etc. Yeah, right now money's in charge of me. Yeah, you need to stop that. You need to stop that. Money is not in charge of you. You are in charge of money. And that was one of the things, me facing my fears, going into my bank accounts, lots of different things, tracking money, where it's coming from, etc. Do I track my money so much now? No, I don't, because I've just activated myself that it constantly comes in, like my old coding as a hairdresser, the tips in my head, and I just trust the universe that it's just gonna deliver. Money in charge at the moment. Yeah, okay, Cody, need to change that. All right. Because you see, when money is in charge of you, you see money as power. Okay. And money is actually a feminine energy. Money is a feminine energy. Money needs to be created. Money needs to flow. It needs to move. Let's make an alarm clock. Money needs to flow. It needs to move. All right. So we need to move money into being a very feminine energy. All right. So you are the one that's in charge of money. You are the creator of your abundance. So we need to flip it. Has anyone been in this situation where you are pushing, striving to create more money, right? I use business as an example. I know not everybody has a business, but if you're really working hard, you can use it in a job scenario where you feel like you've really put the hours in, all right? But you know, it goes unrecognized by your boss and you get really frustrated. You could use that scenario, right? Or you're working hard in your business to create your business to generate income. As soon as you go, basically it leads to burnout, right? Or sickness. And then you have to rest. And then when you recalibrate from that rest and you start to pick up and you feel better, right? Your boss will come back to you and go, oh, we've really missed you. Oh my God, I've realized that I didn't realize how much you do. Oh my God, we're actually going to put you like on a training course, or we're going to give you a promotion, right? Has anyone been in that situation, right? Or, you know, you need to take a holiday, you need to take a break from your business, right? And when you're out and you're having fun and you enjoy yourself, right? When you get back to that level and you have fun and enjoy yourself, a sale comes in, right? I go on holiday, right? I go on holiday to have a nice time, but the amount of sales and the amount of inquiries I get for people wanting to work with me is because I've given back to myself. I'm nurturing myself. My energy has shifted and changed because the universe is, if you're pushing, the universe just goes, oh, go away. Literally like that, okay? So you've got to change your physiology. Because you need to get back into feminine flow to be able to receive. No, I don't know off by heart which is the energetic minimums and maximums are. It should say. I talk about it a lot, to be honest. Oh, it feels like money's in charge of me at the moment, but it's time to shift it. Absolutely. This issue with money, minimum, really makes sense. I think that's my main problem. My minimum is used to minus value. Yes, you're used to living in the minuses because that is your comfortable, that's your comfort zone. That's how comfortable you are around money, even though you look at it and go, I don't want that. So that needs to shift and change, yeah? I feel in charge of money at the moment. Okay, good. It's getting better. Yes. Okay, cool. Right, are we ready to go into the records? Sorry, I'm running a bit late, but you know me, I like to give lots of value in this stuff. So the best way, I know a number of you are going to contact me because you want to work on money stuff. There's a couple of ways that you can work with me when it comes to money. Flagship program. Okay, I always push people over to the flagship program because it's such great value. All right. Or you can book in, I actually didn't put it in the link, you can actually book in a wealth chamber activation with me. So within your records, you actually have an area that is built around wealth. No shitting me, it is. We have lots of different chambers within the Akashic records. We have chambers, it's like a filing cabinet, but bigger. So this is one of my very popular sessions where people are like sometimes just dipping their toe to work with me. I was like, oh, let's see what she's like. And the wealth chamber activation is that we go into that record room of yours and we do a healing and we do an activation. So we do a clearing, we clear karma, we clear vows of poverty, vows of chastity, all these different things. Basically, I'm shown what needs to shift in order for you to have a great transformation. So if you're interested in having a one-on-one private session with me for wealth chamber activations, I've gone into wealth chamber, right? In all fairness, I've gone into wealth chamber. I've worked on money stuff, but I've also done wealth chamber activations around love and relationships and finding a husband, because that is what that woman wanted and needed. She didn't say that to me, but when I was having that conversation of this is what I'm being shown, she was like, yeah, because for her, love was her wealth. That was her feeling whole and complete. So you can work on those ways. So those are the two ways: Unleashing Prosperity program or a wealth chamber activation as well. But if you know that you've got stuff to uncover, then I would highly recommend going in and purchasing half price my flagship program. You will not be disappointed. You will not be disappointed. You will absolutely love it. Okay, so we're going to go into the records. When we go into the records, we're going to find this inherited money trauma and any family beliefs that is running, and it's either going to be from a number 1, number 2, number 3. Number 1, fear of being seen and receiving more. Number 2 is guilt and shame around wealth. And number 3 is the fear of losing it all and never feeling safe. So we're going to ask for that number so that when you come out of meditation, out of the healing and the clearing, you will know what you've cleared related to money trauma and family beliefs. Okay, does that make sense? Yes, there is a separate business chamber within our Akashic Records. There's the love chamber, there's like the relationship chamber, there's a business chamber, there's a wealth chamber, there's even a manifesting chamber. That was something that was shown to me when I was prepping for, what workshop did I do the other week? It was the, sorry, I've got a bit of a brain fog today. It was, I haven't put my patch on this morning, my HRT patch. Oh God, the manifesting chamber, that was shown to me on the manifesting. I did a manifesting. There's one online, you can repurchase it, manifesting workshop. And I did one in person. And prepping for that, I was shown that we actually have a manifesting chamber. Yeah. So look, chambers aren't always set in stone, and different healers, different Akashic record readers will see different chambers. So it's just how you perceive your hall of records as well. But yeah, there's definitely a manifesting chamber. So, and we put our manifestation lists in our manifesting chamber. That's what we did. The activation was brilliant for me. Well worth it, lady. It was always instant change. Oh, what was that for, Annie? Was that the manifesting one? Annie came on the manifesting workshop into the wealth chamber. All right. Okay. So I want you to not drive listening to this. Make sure that you are not operating any machinery. I can put you into trance. We do a guided meditation. So your psychic abilities are going to be different. So you might see things, you might hear things, you might know things, you might feel things. Okay, so just allow your natural psychic abilities to work for you. Okay, just trust that I'm tuning into you as a collective. So I will pick up on things. Some things will resonate, some things won't resonate. And that's because we're doing it as a group rather than an individual one-on-one session. This is a lovely taster to see whether you like working through the Akashic Records. And this is also a great taster to see whether you align to this type of spiritual work as well, just so you know. When we come back round, I do like you to pop stuff into the chat and make sure that you're back, you're compos mentis, and that you're not still trancey. If you still feel a bit wookie, you need to go outside and ground yourself. You need to take plenty of water for the next 48 hours so that you can flush anything through. You might feel that some awareness might pop in after this healing. You might be, thinking about things. You might be feeling the feels. So emotions might come up, okay? But just to know, don't push those emotions back down. Let them come up and let them float. So some people might get a little bit itchy, scratchy, all right? Okay, let that emotion come up and let it go, all right? Don't take it out on anybody. Some people might want to go to the toilet quite a lot. That can happen, all right? So if you go to the loo, that's perfectly fine. You're just releasing through your body. If you feel a little bit emotional and you feel a little bit teary, that's fine. It's just emotions. You're basically, this stuff is healing on your emotional body, and that is fine. So just be kind to yourself and know and get excited that you're having a shift. All right. It's a bit like me, you know, saying that like I've got my croaky voice and a bit of a cold. I'm not going to sit in, oh, I feel really ill and poor me, right? I'm like, oh, I'm getting down into the depths of Claire and I'm pulling this stuff up and I'm purging and I'm shifting it out, right? I don't fight it. Bring it up, let it go. All right, so close your eyes. Know that you can come back to this at any stage and you can listen to this time and time again. It's going to go into the YouTube video as well, onto my YouTube channel, so you can go and listen to this at any stage. So when you're ready, I invite you to just keep listening to my voice, because that's going to be your guide. Close down your eyes. Okay, I'm going to have a little blow. And just take some deep breaths. Now, you might want to place your hands upwards, like you're in the receiving position, or you might want to place a hand on your heart and on your womb space. I prefer doing that because I like to connect in with my body. And just breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. And what we're going to do is that we're going to call in your angels and guides, anyone that you want to call in, that you connect with, that loves and supports you. Just breathing in, breathing out. We're going to place you in a bubble of white light, and nothing in the white light can harm or hurt you. You're safe and secure. Safe and secure. And what I want you to do is I want you to imagine now that silver roots are coming out from the soles of your feet, and they're going all the way down into the earth. Down, down, down. And as these silver roots go down, I want you to allow them to go wide so you can take up space. And allow them to go right down, 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 till they hit the heart of Mother Earth. And you're going to see, sense, feel, know, listen with your whole being as you connect into a gorgeous crystal. And whatever crystal comes to mind, so you might feel a colour, you might notice something, you might even know the name of the crystal, but you're going to wrap those silver roots around the crystal and you're going to plug yourself into the crystal. And you're going to pull that crystal energy now all the way up. And you're going to drink that beautiful crystal energy into your body. And you can feel that crystal energy. Be aware of that crystal energy coming all the way up from the soles of your feet, all the way up your legs. And it's going to go into your root chakra, lighting it up like a star. Into your sacral chakra, lighting it up like a star. Into your solar plexus, lighting it up like a star. Into your heart chakra, lighting it up like a star. Into your throat chakra, lighting it up like a star. Into your third eye, lighting it up like a star. And into your crown chakra, lighting it up like a star. And just allow now that crystalline energy to spiral all around you in that energy bubble. Okay, so we're just going to release anything that's heavy, toxic, stagnant. And if you've got anybody's energy that you're carrying, so we're just going to release that. It's going to drain out of you now. Okay, and I want you to start to realize that you're becoming much lighter, lighter and lighter, lighter and lighter. And you feel very connected to your heart. And as you connect into that big, beautiful heart, I want you to imagine that there's a portal of purple light just opening up in front of you now. And you're going to step into that purple portal of light. And you're going to feel like you're drifting now through that purple portal of light. And you're going further and further out, higher and higher, higher and higher. Going through the galaxy, through all the stars, the planets, until you notice a beautiful golden staircase there in the distance. And it's a gorgeous golden spiral staircase. And you know that that's your destination. You're going to go up that spiral staircase. And at the top of the staircase, you see a magnificent angel. This is Archangel Metatron, the keeper of your records. He's the master scribe. He opens the door for you. And as you walk through, you notice your name on the door, your full name, your date of birth, your place of birth. And you realize that, this is my record room. This is mine, all mine. And as you go into your record room, I want you to see, sense, feel, know, listen with your whole being. And you're going to step out of that energy bubble. And you know that in this room, you're in a room of great wisdom and knowledge of your past, your present, and all your future lives. All the information is here. And every time you come into your record room, it can look different. And that's okay. One of your guides is going to come over to you and greet you. And as you look around your record room, you might notice or you might sense ancestors also there in your record room. And they are there today to support you in releasing the generational scarcity patterns that you all hold around money trauma and negative beliefs. And in the middle of your record room is a large table with a book upon it. And as you look at this book, you can see it glowing with golden light. And some of the pages are lit up and they feel light and positive. And some of the pages are dark. And as you lift your head from the table, you can see other books from your ancestors. And they have the same golden pages and dark pages in their books. And you can see a golden cord and a black cord running from book to book to book. And you're going to ask your Akashic guide to show you if you are to work on one of your inherited money traumas or negative belief systems today, what needs to be cleared that's going to give you the greatest transformation in the most loving, gentle, easiest way. Now, you're going to turn to a page and you're going to see a number. See, sense, feel, know, listen with your whole being. What number are you working on? Is it number 1? Number 2? Number 3? What are you drawn to? What are you being shown? What do you feel? What do you know? What do you sense? 1, 2, or 3? And what are you learning by having this coding, this cord, this black cord? What are you gaining from carrying this? Are you sent to clear this? Is this one of your promises that you agreed on a soul when you joined the family line? Or is this something that you need to overcome in this life? Heal. Or do you feel you're carrying it so that you belong? Just allow the information to come through. And I know it feels really heavy. Let that heaviness come. Let the heaviness come. And where did these first start? Where did it first start? How far back? And is there any advice for you today? That from this healing and clearing, what do you need to step into? What's your action? How do you embody this new change, this new belief? Do you know what the belief is? Do you know what the trauma is? Ask. Okay. I want you to ask the divine source for a clearing in the highest and best. And we're going to work with the lords and ladies of karma to clear all karmic patterns of inherited money trauma and negative family beliefs. You're going to see a divine light now coming over your right shoulder, like a laser beam of white light. And you're seeing it going into your record book. And you're going to see that number start to disappear on the page in front of you. And then you're going to see like it's lit, like a fire, like a light, running now all the way through that black cord. And you're going to see it going through all the other ancestors' books. Going back to the original source. And then you're going to see that laser beam of white light going through the golden thread and making that golden thread stronger, so that you keep all the positive beliefs around money from your ancestors, but you've discreated and destroyed all the negative karmic patterns running through your family line. Okay, I want you to breathe. Okay, nice. I want nice 3 deep breaths. Okay, so I want you to just sit for a moment in this gorgeous energy of peace. Because some of you actually don't know what it feels like to be at peace around money. And you're probably thinking, why do I feel different? Because you've released inherited trauma that you didn't even know was there. So just keep breathing. Let's do another 3 deep breaths. I want you to now give yourself a hug and tell yourself that you feel safe, you feel secure. All is good, all is well. Okay, so we're just recalibrating you now. You've had a big, big shift. Okay, good. You're just coming back to normal. I'm not rushing you. Just keep breathing, another 3 deep breaths. And after this 3rd breath, it's completed. There we go. Well done. Okay, you might just want to have a little bit of a shimmy in your body. Okay, you might want to like stretch, just move some energy around you. You can still keep your eyes closed and you're still in your room. You're just recalibrating. Okay, and you might just want to shake some energy off you. I do like a shaky. A lot of you were carrying this through your nervous system. Well done. Okay. So I want you to close your book now and say you now close your records. Hand the book to your guide. Your guide will nod and smile at you. Okay, you're going to get up from the table, go back to the door. As you get to the door, you're going to step into that bubble of light. And in that bubble of light, you're going to feel beautiful, like pure divine source energy. I want you to wash yourself in this energy. Okay, I want you to drink this beautiful white light in, breathe it in, cleansing and clearing. And as you're doing that, you're going to come down the spiral staircase, noticing that your door closes so that everything is shut. And you're coming down, 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 past the planets and the stars, traveling now at high speed. And as you travel at high speed, you feel really free. Your hair's blowing in the breeze. You feel vibrant, you feel alive, you feel marvelous. And then you're going to feel like you're through that purple portal of light and coming back into your body. And as you're back in your body, you notice that you're still connected to the earth with those silver roots. You're going to pull crystalline energy up again through those roots, all the way through your body, from the tips of your toes to the top of your head. And this crystalline energy is going to ground you now. So, working on your root chakra, your sacral, your solar plexus, your heart, your throat, your third eye, your crown, making those chakra points the perfect size. Feel that energy spinning around you now. Still feeling very connected to the earth, but you feel expansive. You feel light, like a nice light body. Okay, you're going to pull your silver roots back into your body. But you still feel connected to the earth. You're still very connected to the nature, to the elements. Okay, 3 deep breaths. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Okay, let me know in the chat. Hey Wendy, how are you? Yeah, watch the replay or go up onto YouTube, lovey. Okay, let me know how you all are. Let me know what number you got as well. I got number 2, so it was guilt and shame around wealth. So yeah, let me know in the chat what number you got. Yeah, it was deep. Did you all love the way that we set fire to? We set fire to everything. I wanted to say it was like, you know how you back in the old Western days, you could set dynamite, you know, and that black cord, and you set it alight, and you just watch it going all the way up to the dynamite. That's what it felt like. Oh, hey, Shani, you're here. Okay, so everyone's writing. I've dropped in the session for Wealth Chamber. If anybody wants to book a Wealth Chamber activation, healing, clearing, and activation. And I've also dropped the link in for Unleashing Prosperity. And the code for Unleashing Prosperity is, and this is for you, you know, for coming along today, 50% off my money program. The code is HSC, Holistic Spiritual Community 50. HSC. God, my brain's not with it today. I'm still like connected. Haven't come down to planet Earth. So there's Wealth Chamber session with me, or there's 50% off the Unleashing Prosperity program. If you would like to, you know, work with me further around your money stuff. So Shani had 2. So 2 was, I need to look at what 2 was. I had 2 as well, Shani. Oh, everyone's ringing me now. Where's my notes? Okay, number 2. So Shani, you were guilt and shame around wealth. Yeah, I had the same thing. And was 3. 3 was fear of losing it all and never feeling safe. Cara got 1 and 3. So 1 is fear of being seen and receiving more. I'm going to drop this in the chat, which will help. That might make it easier. Okay. Good thinking, Batman. Okay. Right. There you are. So 1, fear of being seen and receiving more. And Cara, fear of losing it all and never feeling safe. So Cara, you've got the fear of being seen, fear of like the receiving more, more responsibility, more visibility. And then if you have it, you lose it and you don't feel safe. So you've got it in coming and going in both camps. Kylie is 3, fear of losing it all, never feeling safe. Charlie, you got 3. I got 3. Wow, that was deep. Yeah, pleasure. That was interesting. Mine was number 2. Same with me. There's something I want to ask when I've done any meditations or healing lately. I can hear your voice loud and clear, but I zone out completely. So I don't know what's going on. Is this normal? Jessie, you're going deep into trance, and that's because we need to stop your monkey mind taking over. So sometimes it's a couple of things. I'll put you deep into trance, because if you've got a mind that can be like chattering like, oh, this is crappy, don't listen to this, oh, she's talking a load of sense, you can't see anything, there's nothing here or that, we need to get rid of that, right? So I need to put you deeper into trance to get rid of it. Or the trauma is so bad that we don't, because I do everything in the most loving, gentle, easy way. So sometimes I need to put you out in order for you to feel safe, because I know you feel really, really safe with me. So when people feel really, really safe with me, they know we can go deeper on a deeper level. So that's the other thing. Those are the 2 things that normally happen. I would invite you to re-listen to it again as well, because I feel that there's probably more of these ones that you can listen and shift to. I know you have Unleashing Prosperity as well, but you know, I will actually probably take this recording and put it in Unleashing Prosperity as well as a bonus, because it's a good one. It's a good juicy one. Yeah. And sometimes we don't need to look at everything, you know. I just literally, because I'm obviously channeling, but I'm also getting the healing as well. So I knew I had number two. A few things came up, but I don't necessarily need to go digging on all of that stuff. I just trust that I can see the black cord being burnt away. It's gone back. Mine was really, really far back, but I'm not going into the nitty gritty of it. I trust my guides, that I've set the intention in my room that you're going to take care of this, right? Because I don't have an issue around having support, especially from my spiritual guides, right? So I know that energetically I'm holding space for you and I'm channeling for you, but I know my guides are taking care of what needs to shift in my room. Yeah, time to get back to Unleashing Prosperity program. Yeah. And you got number two as well. Yeah, two was popular. Two was popular. All right. Okay. So we've done 90 minutes. 90 minutes with Claire. Good day to set you up for success. Hi Jackie, how are you? Okay, so if you want to have a wealth chamber session with me, then the link is in the chat. That's the way to work on money blocks with me, or you can go ahead and, because you have rocked up today and you're part of this community, you can receive my Unleashing Prosperity flagship program, which is life-changing, for 50% off. So that is available for you as well. With whenever you purchase products or anything like that through my my pay checkout system, there is like afterpay and stuff like that, so you can split the payments as well. So it makes things really, really affordable for you to commit to your growth and your healing journey. But yes, I hope you have enjoyed this. I'm off now to do some clients for today, but I wish you a lovely, lovely day and the rest of the week. And it was really lovely to see you all. I hope you got great value from this training and healing today. Thank you. Lots of love.